School Freeware's Excel 2010 Tutorials. Tutorial 5, Functions. To insert a function, click on Insert Function next to the formula bar. A dialog box appears, and inside are the functions that Microsoft Excel has to offer. It's a good idea to take a look at the different categories of different functions, and also click on All, and then simply scroll through the functions, reading the description of each individual function, so you know what Microsoft Excel has to offer to you. You can also insert functions by clicking on the arrow next to the auto sum. Here we have sum, average, count numbers, max, and minimum available to you. We also have more functions, which again brings up the function dialog box. You can also find functions under the formulas tab, where we have insert function, the auto sum, the recently used functions, and different categories of the different functions. I can also insert functions by manually typing in the function. Say, for example, the sum, so I'll hit equal, sum, then within parentheses, what I wish to sum up. Since I don't have anything to sum up, I'll just remove the sum, and let's go ahead and put in some numbers so we can work with some functions. I'll start with 1 and 2. Autofill, so I have 8 numbers. 2 and 4. Autofill, so I have 8 numbers. Type in 5, 6, 8, 7, 1, 2, 9, and 4. Followed by column E, 0, negative 10, 3, 5, 9, 8, negative 5, and 7. Starting with cell A9, total, average, max, min, second large, third large, first small, and fifth small. So here's what we're going to do. Total, average, maximum number, minimum number, the second largest number, the third largest number, the first smallest number, and the fifth smallest number is what we're going to find. I'll start off with the total, and I'll just do a standard calculation. B1 plus B2 plus B3 plus B4 plus B5 plus B6 plus B7 plus B8. Enter, I get 36. Let's try with the auto sum. So just click on the auto sum. The computer highlights the cells it thinks that I want. This is correct, C1 through C8. So I'll just click enter on the keyboard. And we have 36 and 72. If I were to add a row, I'll just right mouse click on row 8, select insert. I'll put in 10 and 10. Notice that now we have 82 within our total for column C, but we're still with 36 for column B. If we take a look at our formula bar, we find that B8 is not included within our calculations. However, B8 did become B9. So this used to be the old B8, and when we inserted the row, the computer modified the cell for us, making it B9. However, within the auto sum, we have C1 through C9 correctly calculated for us. So that's the difference between using calculations and using the function. I'll get rid of row 8 at this time by right mouse clicking and selecting delete. Everything goes back. So what I like to do now is I'll just go ahead and auto sum column B. That's correct, B1 through B8. And I can just autofill over, and the rest are done. So we have sum B1 through B8, sum C1 through C8, sum D1 through D8, and sum E1 through E8. For the average, I can find the average here located underneath the auto sum. Now within this situation, the computer is trying to help me out by selecting B1 through B9. However, it's bringing in that total, and if I use that total, my calculations will be wrong. So I'll override the computer by highlighting cell B1 and selecting through B8. Enter to confirm. For the maximum, you also find it underneath the auto sum. I'll override the computer. Autofill over. Minimum. Override the computer. Autofill over. For the second largest number, I'm not going to find it here underneath the auto sum. I'll find it within more functions. and I happen to know that it's in all, and the name of the function is large. And here we have large. It says the array k and returns the kth value in the data set. So I'll just click OK to get the large number. Function out says select the array. We have to select the array, which is the cells. And this button here collapses the dialog box. This button here expands the dialog box. So if this box was in the way, I can go ahead and collapse and move this around. Select the cells that I want, B1 through B8, expand, and then here I can type in the kth value. Since I want the second largest, I'll just put 2, click OK, and now 7 is the second largest number, which is correct. Autofill over. Third largest. Now here I can use recently used, and there's large since I just used it. Collapse. Select the cells, and I want the third largest, so k is equal to 3. Click OK. Get 6. Autofill over. For the smallest, I'll have to go to Insert Function. And I know the name of the function is small, so just hit S on the keyboard and scroll down till I find small. There it is. Click OK. Collapse, select the cells, expand, and what's the first smallest, so I'll click OK. This is going to be the same thing as the minimum. For the fifth smallest, recently used, small, select the cells. Want the k equals 5, click OK. Autofill over. So let's go ahead and work with some more functions. Let's go over to the side here by H. Now let's say, for example, I want to sum up B1 through E8. Click on the AutoSum, highlight B1 through E8. Enter. Let's say that I want B1 through B8 and also D1 through D8. So I'll go to AutoSum, highlight B1 through B8. But if I try to highlight D1 through D8, I can only highlight one column at a time. So what I'm going to do is highlight B1 through B8. Then I'm going to go ahead and put in a comma. And now I can go ahead and select D1 through D8. Let's try this again. So let's say I want to sum up B1, C2, D3, and E4. So what I'll do is I'll click on the AutoSum, click on B1, comma, C2, comma, D3, comma, E4. Enter. Let's take a look at the absolute value. Click on absolute value. And here I can just simply type in a number, let's say -5. Click OK. Let's try the absolute value again. I'll go to recently used, select absolute value. I'll select the cell E2. Click OK. And get 10 as the value. So let's say I want to put in the date. I'll select today. Click OK. Get the date. Let's try another one. Now, click OK. The date and time is both printed. Let's try the power function. 10 to the power of 2 should give us 100. Click OK. Let's try the power function again. Power. I'll select B8 to the power of E3. Click OK, and I get 512.